Hey everybody, Tom here with our work for week 3 of our time together in class. So this is a little more complex of a landscape. Instead of just a simple horizon, you've got some curvature and you've got some angles and you've got some depth of space to depict. When you get into this video, you're going to find that my greens that I'm depicting in the scene will have warm and cool aspects to them that will really help them to stand out. Right now I'm just carefully measuring my proportions, trying to get that tree to a reasonable height as it sits within the picture plane. I don't know if you can see very clearly, but as you look as I'm making the marks with my pencil, the kind of line that I'm drawing is a very light, sketchy, kind of a dot dash, or sometimes what I call a hop, skip, and a jump kind of line. And the idea is to create a line or a pattern that can easily disappear into the background of the space that it's sitting in. I want to come over the top of this with watercolor, and I don't want my lines to stand out too much. And I just got a feeling that I've said that in earlier videos, so maybe I'm starting to repeat myself already. Sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up to double speed. I think that'll be okay through here. So there we go, cruising along at light speed now, almost. Getting the drawing done. So the tree's pretty well done. Now I'm working on that background hillside. I'm trying to get placed in proper placement those two distant blue grain silos that can be seen right here in the photograph. Okay. Let's see, what am I going to do next? Oh, okay, I think I'm actually have gone to get some brushes. So now I'm back, wetting down the entire sky, going to paint it wet into wet. Picking up a little cerulean blue and mixing a touch of the phthalo or Prussian blue with it. Just lightly, it doesn't look light, but I'm actually lightly picking up just a little bit of the excess water, trying to control the wet into wet as I paint it. So as you can see here in the painting as it's happening right up here, I've got some dark and light areas. That's in part because of the buckling of the paper. It's kind of a characteristic. Christine was asking me about it earlier this week, or Catherine was. And yeah, buckling happens in watercolor painting. It's the nature of the paper. Even when one tries to stretch the paper, it's going to buckle somewhat. So as I've got that blue down there around the tree, I am now modifying what I have laid down there. And because I wetted it with water, that's giving me some time to tweak around that tree, do some wet into wet scrubbing, lifting out just a little bit, and pushing and controlling that watercolor where I really want it to be. Now here's where I'm starting to get into the kinds of greens that I'm going to use, warm to or cool to warm. So I'm dipping a lot in the phthalo green here, and I'm using basically whatever leftover green I've got. I added just a touch of blue to it, and that green I'm laying in is pretty cool by comparison with the green that will be in the tree, and you'll see that in a little bit. All of this information back here are just distant trees and stands of look like they're probably hardwood forests, like this is maybe from parts of the Midwest, and yeah, they're just lightly worked in. As you can see, I'm mixing in a warmer green there. See how I changed the color from here to here? Okay. These are just beginning marks that I will go over the top of later on. Picking up some yellow ochre, getting that ripening field blocked in. Now what I did is I put the blue on that right side as I was putting basically the shadowed side of those distant silos in, and then using a brush to lift out some of that unwanted blue paint that bled into the area that was still wet. A little more of a close-up there. Mixing up a green that's starting to include the use of a little bit of red in with that phthalo to help warm it up even just a bit more. Now as I'm painting, I'm trying to paint basically what I see as growth patterns occurring in that foreground pasture or field, hay field, grass field. I'm just blocking in some colors I'm going to go over the top of and glaze over with other colors. Allowing the white of the paper to show through some because I'll be going over that with other colors. But now I'm just starting to sort of try and allude to some textures in the grass. And I want to build on and strengthen those textures a bit more as I come forward in the picture plane. Little splash work there, blocking the top part of the painting with my arm. Sometimes all that splashing you see the watercolorists do. Sometimes I wonder if that isn't just performance art. I don't know. Okay, really changing the color of that green for painting the tree itself. dropping a little water into that upper part so it goes just a little bit lighter. Right there where the light and the dark are, they just indicate a change in the plane of the general growth patterns of the tree itself. Now I've grabbed my favorite little go-to scrub out brush. I'm kind of lifting out some of that bleed out blue from the silos and just cleaning that up a bit there. Okay. Starting in with, I've kind of stated everything with a basic color. Now I'm coming in with more definitive color, the colors that I want and shapes and patterns, and basically shoring everything up. Now in drawing circles, one aspect of what I was doing before is sometimes called the block-in stage, where I'm just blocking it in. And now here I'm coming in with kind of more completed drawing or painting work. Again, that sky is pretty well done. I won't touch it anymore. And as you can see, it does look somewhat different from the sky in the photograph. And I just basically take it, I basically feel that I have one shot at that sky each time I paint it in watercolor. So mixing up another darker green. Starting to block in more of the shadowed side of that canopy of leaves on the tree. Okay, I'm going to end the video at this point and start a second one, and we'll finish up with the second section of this.